Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream of Farming Simulator 22. I'm going to take just a minute right here and see if I can't pull this up on my laptop so I can monitor chat and just see how it goes. I always have trouble finding where my live stream is posted. I found it easy that time. So I'm going to type a message into chat right quick, and then we'll be ready to get started. Let me see if it's hard for me to see. Okay, I think that's okay. There we go. Now we got a message. Just put a welcome message in the chat, guys, just in case somebody pops in. I have had one person come in on a chat previously. So, here we go. Now, we do have a couple of fields. I will tell you that I just went on there and slept through a day right quick. I did it off camera just so we didn't have to take that time once we got in the game. But we do have a couple of fields we're going to harvest and then get replanted. And then we're going to do a couple of other things. It may not be a real long stream today. I'm not real sure. I'm still kind of experimenting. I'm not real sure, you know, like how much time I'm going to put into doing this. I'm not a real big gamer. It's just something to do. So I figure if I'm going to be doing it, I'm going to do live stream it. So we need to get our harvester. We left it parked over here. So that'll be the first step. Get these fields harvested. Let's see. I believe over in this field, sorry guys, I clear my throat a little bit there. I believe we have sorghum. And sorghum is something that chickens will eat. So let's see what we can do here. Our other field that we're going to harvest today is barley, and chickens will eat that also. So we will have plenty of chicken food. I think I will plant both of these fields in soybeans. Like I said, we have plenty of chicken food. Chicken feed. But when I get through with this field, we'll go top off the chickens, their little silo they have over there. Put a helper in here and see how he does. Normally I would do a headland row. But let's see how he does without one. Hopefully he'll cover this whole field. We won't have to do it. That's what I'm looking for anyway. That's what I'm hoping for. So just let him run back and forth on his own, unassisted, unless I have to give him a hand. And I have to do that a lot with the plow. I'm not sure if I have to help the harvester out that much or not. But this is going to be a good test to find out. I'm trying to get my laptop kind of positioned a little bit better where I can see it easier. I'm trying to look at two different screens and they're in two different places. So I have to look away from my TV screen where the game is being broadcast over to my laptop where the chat room is. And I mean, I don't mind doing that, but I do have to look away from my game screen. I can see it on my laptop also, but it has a delay. Probably about 5 or 6 seconds. I'm going to see if I can't count it out right here and just get an idea. I was thinking it's like, 5, 6 seconds. So as soon as we hit the edge of the field here, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. So about a 5-second delay. And that's not going to work if I'm watching the screen on the laptop and I'm 5 seconds behind what's happening actually on the game screen. So I need to be watching my TV screen and not the laptop, other than trying to keep an eye on the chat. I do like to know if somebody else is watching, and that's another thing because it's on the opposite side of the screen from where the chat is. It would be nice if it was just directly below chat so I could see both at once by looking in one place, but I have to kind of search around and try to find where it tells me how many people are watching. Because right now it says 1 watching now, and that 1 would be me, because I'm watching on my laptop while I'm broadcasting. I have had as many as 3 watching at one time. But hopefully this channel will grow a little bit. It's a real small channel. If you watch my other live streams or anything, you've heard me say that, it took me a long time to kind of figure out what I want to do with the channel. And I don't know that I still know exactly what I'm going to do. I thought I could just make videos of my retired life and stuff like that, but my retired life is not very exciting. There's just nothing for me to make videos of other than every once in a while. So I have posted a few videos and I have them on the channel, but it's just nothing I could keep going consistently. And I know that's what people want as far as content is concerned. They want consistent content, and I haven't been able to provide that. So my channel is very small, and I understand that. And it's not really my goal to have like a really big channel. I really don't think I'll ever be monetized. because I don't think I'll be that productive, and I don't think my channel will get that big. It's really hard to break into this kind of thing, you know, because everything's been done already. You have people that's been doing this for years already, and they're the ones that are going to make the big bucks doing it. So I probably won't make any money at it. And that leaves, you know, it's like any other sport. I mean, that requires money to be able to accomplish it. I know I had a brother at one time that was doing mud racing, and he was sponsored by Coors Light, which is great. It had a great sponsor, but the only thing Coors Light paid for was the entry fee to the events. So if my brother broke a piece of equipment or something in one of his races, well, that had to come out of his pocket. Coors Light didn't replace the equipment, where you have other people who had been at it for so much longer and had built up a reputation already, that they would have multiple sponsors. So they would have money to be able to replace equipment that may get broke during a race, and that happens a lot. So my brother just never could get out front of everybody else because they were all making more money than him. Okay, now right now we're going to let this guy get turned around, and I'm going to go jump over and get our tractor with our trailer, because we're just about ready to empty this thing. So let's just jump over here. We have this, but we don't need this part. Whoops, that is not the tractor I want. I want this tractor. I actually thought I was in this tractor. Okay, takes a little while to get going. Now you guys may have noticed that I have, what, did I just drop a weight off there? I sure did. I'll have to pick that up, won't I? Alright, we have fuel. We don't need to worry about repairs or anything right now. We have all that up on the yard, which is good. We just want to be ready over here, guys. It's not going to be long before this harvester is full. Looks like it's going to be headed back down the field too, which means I have to drive out into the crop to collect. Oh no, he didn't make it. Good. He did not make it all the way to the top. So that means I do not have to drive out into the crop to be able to collect the grain from the harvester. Nice. And then that tractor could just sit right there where it's at. Gets out of the way. Now this really is one of my favorite games, guys. Like I said, you may have noticed I have a couple of live stream videos of Snow Runner. I like Snow Runner, but it hurts my hands a lot to play. Thankfully it's not a fighting game, so I would be able to play it only for a few minutes if it was a fighting game. So Snow Runner I can play, but like I made a video earlier, and boy, my hands were aching, especially after I did 2 of them within a relatively short period of time. I did 2 videos, about 2.5 hours each, and boy, my hands can't stand that. Now this here because I can use a helper. I can just set my controller down and you know, work that soreness out of my hands while I'm doing that, and just keep an eye on it. So I always ride along with them. I have had a field in on a different map where I had several different processes going on at the same time using helpers, and I just kept an eye on everybody, kept everything moving along. And that was a pretty cool production line on this field, because I was harvesting, I was fertilizing, I was plowing, then I was planting. All at the same time in this big field. All this was happening at the same time, and that was like really cool. I don't know that I'll do that on this map, because I don't know if I'll have fields big enough. I'm not sure. Actually, I might. It might have been on this map where I was doing that. I think it was on Elm Creek. But I think I can do it on this map too. I think I did that on this map at one time. So we may be able to do that again. That would be a lot of fun. I mean, it looks really cool. It'll look cool on video to have all this stuff going on at the same time. Have 4 helpers in the field working at the same time, all doing different jobs. And hopefully this guy won't need any help. He won't make no mistakes. He'll get the job done. Of course, that's always the hope, but to be honest, I already know a helper with the plow is going to mess up, because I haven't played the game yet when that has not happened. So, but anyway, like I was talking about, guys, you know, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the channel, because I don't know how devoted I want to be to playing games. And that's just me being honest. But I'm going to try it out for a while, see how it goes. If the channel starts picking up and people are interested and stuff like that, then, you know, I'll have motivation to keep going. But I don't really want to, like, you know, like, I get a bunch of subscribers, and then, you know, and I'm really not wanting to play games all the time. So I got to figure out kind of a schedule that it's going to work for me. Like, do I want to be making videos every day? Do I want to make maybe a couple of weeks and maybe do like one farming simulator and one snow runner? Just exactly how do I want to do it? I'm just kind of getting into it right now with the games, guys. Now I did do some game videos on my PS4, and I put them on a different channel, which I deleted because I had no subscribers, and I was only doing it just to see would I enjoy making videos, and I did. But the problem with the videos that I was making is that a lot of times I felt like they were a little bit too short. And that's only because of the way PlayStation is set up. Your maximum record time on PlayStation is 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Now, of course, Livestream is different. You can live stream through the PlayStation also, which I never knew that before. My son-in-law in Texas showed me how to do it and everything. So it's awesome. And that's what I've been doing. And I'll probably never make just regular videos again. I'll always do live streams, even if it's going to be a short video. I'm going to do it in a manner of live stream, more than likely, because one of the problems I had with making videos, knowing I was on a time limit, I bought myself a 1-hour kitchen timer. But I would always forget to get the thing started before I started the video. Well, then I would be into the video and I would remember that I forgot to set that timer. And then I would have to try to guess as to how long I had been recording and set the timer accordingly. And one time, I ended up recording for 59 minutes and 58 seconds because I always like to close my videos out kind of like in a scripted kind of way, so to speak. I don't want to just, like, for example, just stop right where I'm at in this harvester right here. Just stop right there and say, okay, that's the end of the video, and let it die out without, you know, saying, hey, see you next time, thanks for joining, stuff like that. So I like to be able to close the video, give it a proper close. And I was always concerned that the video would just stop recording, that the PlayStation would simply stop recording. And it would if you went over that time limit, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. And I came within 1 second of the PlayStation just stopping the recording. So now that I can live stream, I don't have to worry about that. And that makes it better. That might make it easier for me to kind of be more into it. You know what I mean? I'm not a big gamer. I have games that I like. I have some other games I might be able to play on here. I know that one of the games I'm going to get, or I'm hoping to get, I'm not going to say I know I'm going to get, but I am hoping to get, is Planet Zoo. That game looks like it would be a lot of fun. So I think I want to get it. I want to try it. There's also, what is it? Jurassic World Evolution 2. I think I would like to play that game. So that would be fun. So I might get it, but I think I'm going to get Planet Zoo first. I would like to do the Jurassic World Evolution 2 because you can actually do a Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park is the only of those movies I've seen. But I have been to the location in Hawaii where Jurassic Park was filmed. I'm not sure where, like, Jurassic World was filmed. I don't recall ever even having seen that movie. I saw Jurassic Park. So with the whole Jurassic dinosaur theme and all that stuff, for Jurassic World Evolution 2, you can play Jurassic Park. That's one of the challenges or something, Jurassic Park. And since I have been to, like I said, to the location where it was filmed, that will make that game fun. In fact, I've actually been out there many times. Kualoa Ranch there on Oahu, Hawaii, on Kaneohe side. I've been there many times. And what did that guy just do? That was messed up. Now, see that, guys? This is what I'm talking about. You have to watch the helper. If I was busy looking around and just talking and not paying any kind of attention, look what would have just happened. It would have left a great big section of field undone. And I'm probably going to have to help him out right here too. Alright, now we got the helper going again. Oh. See? What is this? Why are you doing this? It's a little aggravating. It's a little bit aggravating. But partially I was getting a little bit confused where I actually had a helper in there or not. Now maybe I got it set up to where he'll start going again. Anyway, I was talking about Jurassic Park and the location where it was filmed at Kualoa Ranch. One of the people that worked at the ranch, a world-famous Hawaiian cowboy by the name of Abraham Macau Sr. I knew him. I knew his whole family. He was a good friend of mine. He was a mentor to me, one of my pastors, and he passed away some years ago, but he was a very big name with the ranch. And I know his family, his son and daughters. I never met his wife. His wife passed away before I met him, and he has since passed away. But so that place means a lot to me, Kualoa Ranch. I need to back up again because something is not happening properly. See, it looks like it missed something right here. So I've got to go see if it did it or did it not. Maybe it didn't. Yes, it did. I'm not used to that with the harvester. But it could be because I did not cut in a headland row myself. I normally do. So we'll just help him if he needs help. That's the only thing I know to do. Other than cutting in a headland row myself. I may do that. I might need to do that. Just make one revolution around the field myself. That might help him out a little bit. It may or it may not. We'll give it a try here, see what happens. I'm just going to get rid of that guy for now. We'll bring this back down here like this. So we'll go ahead and we'll just run around this way. We'll cut ourselves in a headland row. But anyway, yeah guys, so I want to do that Jurassic World simply because it's kind of has sentimental value to me, being a game about Jurassic Park, like I said. And I've been there many times, and I knew Abraham Macau Sr. Now, he wasn't a part of the movie or anything, but just his association with the ranch itself is kind of sentimental. Plus, we took our youth group out there many times. Okay, well, that was a quick trip around. It didn't take too long to get around this field. And now we'll put the helper back in it, in the harvester that is, and just let them go back to work and hope he does a good job. I'll just continue to ride along with him until we need to empty it again. And then one of the other things I want to do today, guys, is if you remember up by the RV, we put our outhouse up on the hill above the yard with the flagpole up there and stuff. Well, not and stuff, but with the flagpole and the outhouse. And I want to put some lights on the pathway that we made going up there. So I want to do that today also. And then we'll see what else we may or may not do. I have been experimenting a little bit, guys, with doing live streams at different times of day. Like right now it is 5 minutes after 9 at night where I live. I was doing my live streams like at 2 o'clock in the morning from 2 until 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, after 7 o'clock, you know, but starting around 2 in the morning. But I decided I did one early this morning. I did a snow runner. So I decided I would just go ahead and try one a little bit earlier this evening now, and just to see if it works out different. Mainly to see if anybody watches. Because I don't know, like, it seems like if I'm recording at 2 o'clock in the morning, most of the people are probably sleeping. I mean, I only have 20 subscribers, guys, so there's not that many people that would be aware. Anyway, and they may not have an interest in this game. I know one of my subscribers plays this game. I'm a subscriber of his channel also. And he does live streams of this game. Alright, now see, this time the helper made it all the way to the end of the field, so we're going to have to drive out into our crop to be able to empty the harvester. And I have crop damage turned off, but if I did not have crop damage turned off, then it would damage the crop to drive out there in it. So then we would have to go a different way. Okay, he got all of it. This is so hard to tell. Sorghum is a very hard crop to tell what's been harvested and what hasn't, because the stalks remain. It's just thrashing the grain off the top of it as it goes by. But the plant itself stays there, the stalk. So it makes it hard to see. And I would normally want to be going a different direction. I would want to be going lengthwise across the field, whatever the long direction is. And I've shared about that before in my other live streams, pretty much in all of them, more than likely, just because the reason you want to do that, you want to run the length of the field, not the width of the field, is so that your machinery has to make less turns. Okay, so now we're full already. And this guy's going to be full too, very, very quickly. We will not be able to empty this harvester, but that's all right. We can take what we can hold and the harvester can go on its way. And we'll go give what we can to the chickens, and we'll put the rest of it in the silo. Now remember, guys, our silos right there will hold 100 million liters of grain. And that's our goal, is to fill these silos that's going to be a lot of grain. But let's go down here to the chickens. We'll get turned around right here. Now we got our greenhouses down here. We'll have to check the water on them. I did not do a good job of putting these guys in here. Okay, I'll be honest. I did not do a good job. I should have done them differently. I wanted to follow the curve of the road kinda, and it just did not work out real well. This outer row on the edge of the road is fine. I didn't really get the other row as good as I could have, and I should have just done them differently. I should have squared them up with enough room to drive down in between them so I could just make one pass down through there with water. But regardless, it would take two water tank full. Now let's go ahead, let's give them some sorghum. It probably won't take much. They shouldn't need a whole lot. No, they didn't need a whole lot. But now that's topped back off again, so we don't have to worry about it. The rest of it is going to go in here. Now I don't know if I have a menu that will tell me what's in here. I need to look and see about that. So at the end of this live stream, I may look and see. I say we, me, I, we. In this case, it's all the same. But I'm going to go look and see. I'm going to look through the menus and see if I see one that tells me. Actually, I can do that right now. Let's just look through here. Do I have something that tells me? Yes, I do. My prices, but it tells me how many I have, what I have in my silo. And right now I just have those 3 crops. A lot of this stuff will not be going in there. But our arable crops will be. So we're also going to do corn. I don't know how much of this stuff down here. None of this stuff will go in there, of course. Potatoes. We probably will do some potatoes. And then corn will go in there, soybeans, sunflowers. We're not going to do olives or grapes. Sorghum, yes. Canola, oats, barley, and wheat. So, right now we have 50, 68, 69, just over 69,000 liters out of 100 million. That just sounds so funny. But it's going to be awesome. So anyway, I had almost forgot that looking at that particular menu would tell me what I had stored. But then I kind of remembered it when I was talking about it. That's why we went ahead and checked, and sure enough. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to do this in soybeans. we will do our barley field over there in soybeans. And then of course we have soybeans over there, and we have soybeans right there. Soybeans is a cash crop. The only thing we do with those other than putting some of them in here, we're going to sell them. Well, now see, because I was not able to get him emptied last time, it did not take long at all for this harvester to get full this time. And I knew that, but I wasn't really thinking about it. I was too busy talking. Whoop, easy, get back up. There we go. Now I am wanting to buy a tractor trailer setup. The trailer will hold 250,000 liters. It is not easy to get that trailer full. So that is why we will take some of our crops and put them in our grain silo. We want to have a full 250,000 liters. But before I can buy the tractor trailer that I want, I need more money. And I haven't decided right now, that's not priority either. I need more land. We need to buy more land. I want to expand this field that you see right here, the green one there, soybeans. I want to expand it. But I need to buy more land before I can. And that's the thing about this game, you're always buying more land. Now, I can have multiple maps going on as well. I actually do have 2 other maps. One of them I don't even know what it's called. And I was really going to try to see if I couldn't get into doing some forestry. But I gotta be honest, forestry's not my thing. It might not be my thing, because I haven't really done it a lot, so I'm not familiar with it. So it's more kind of like a struggle to be able to do it. And maybe if I got better at doing it, I have done a little bit. And, you know, the little bit was okay, but the little bit could have easily become overwhelming had I just kept doing it. But there's a part of me that wants to do it because it's a different element of this game, forestry. So there is a part of me that wants to do it, but when I get started doing it, it's like, I don't know if I want to or not. And to be honest, guys, I feel the same way about making videos like this. For right now, I want to, but is it something I'm going to want to keep doing continuously? Well, I don't know if it is or not. If I can figure out a schedule, like maybe 2 live streams a week of different games. I don't know. I don't know how these other YouTubers that are the big names, the big channels, I don't really know how they figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, how often they're going to do it. It's just something I'm going to have to figure out for myself as I go along, as to what's going to work for me. Because I would like to be able to play more than one game. But I don't want to get like a lot of people that are interested in this one game, but I want to do other games. I don't want to keep doing the same game. So that's why I went ahead and introduced Snow Runner, simply because it's a little bit change of pace. It's a game that has pretty much the action is continuous, and it is on here too, but like right now I'm just riding along with this harvester, so if I don't really have something to talk about, then it can get kind of quiet, which I know some people that they don't do any commentary, and that's cool too, if that's what people want to see. I don't know what people want to see. I know sometimes I do like watching gameplay without the commentary, but not this game. To me, this game would be kind of boring to watch if there was no commentary. And of course, now that depends too on if there's enough going on to where you can let your helpers do stuff and you're still active as the player, you're still actively playing at the same time. But I don't know that I could watch this helper drive through this field if I didn't have the voiceover, somebody talking, you know. And that could just be because that's what I got used to when I first started watching videos about this game. The people I were watching were commentating, providing commentary, so it could be just that I got used to that, so to me that's what seems natural for this game. I think maybe Snow Runner could be done. Snow Runner could probably be done without the commentary, and it would be okay, because you can kind of follow along with what's going on, and it's not just repetitious, it's always something different. So there are a lot of games that I do like watching that do not have commentary, and I prefer it that way, especially if it's like a first-person shooter game or something like that. But like I said, this particular game, I got used to it being done with commentary, so I don't particularly, it's not my favorite if there's no commentary. All right, harvest is complete. Normally, guys, I don't drive around with the pipe out, other than for a short distance. So we'll take care of this right here, and then we'll go over and harvest our other field. But before we do, we'll go empty our trailer. But we'll go ahead and drive this over there. Now, one thing I have to remember, and I always forget this, well, I shouldn't say I always forget it, but a lot of times I forget it. In fact, one of the fields I have growing right now, I made this same mistake. And like I said, I do this a lot, is I forget to change the crop type on my seeder, so I will start planting something other than what I wanted to plant. And sometimes I'll catch it real quick, and I'm okay if I do that, because I just lose a little tiny bit of crop, maybe a bushel. But other times I have kind of got into it a ways, and then I realized, oh man, I forgot to change my seed type. And by then, it's like, well, there is no going back. I have gone in and plowed it back up before, but most of the time, I would just go ahead and plant whatever mistake I made. I will plant it and try to do better the next time. Sorry guys, got a yawn. It's 9:30. 9:30 at night where I live. All right, we're going to throw in some more sorghum. Now it's going to be cool when we have our first 100,000 liters. It's going to be like very short of our goal. So where are we at? We're not at 100,000 yet. We have 60, 70, 81,000. 82, 82.5. 82.5. Will this other field give us enough? Oh, I don't think so. Well, maybe. We just might get our first 100,000 liters. We'll know soon. Let's just park this over here for now. And then we can go here. Let's cut in a headland row. We'll put our own headland row in. So this is barley. And this is also chicken food, or chicken feed, food for the chickens. Now at some point I need to plant some oats, but not this time. We need to get some cash, so we're going to we're just going to plant soybeans just to get some cash filled up. And I'm not sure how much cash it'll get us either. The fields, the land that we can buy on this map are very, very expensive. Like $179,000. Whereas like on No Man's Land, the map No Man's Land, the plots of land are $85,000 each. But they are much more expensive on this one. I'm assuming they're bigger, really. I would have to say the bigger plots of land. But the fact that they cost so much more to buy here means we need to turn more soybeans. Eventually, I'll get to where I will, maybe every fourth time I plant a field, I'll plant it in soybeans. And then I'll do like this field right here. I will get to a point to where I am planting, I'll do wheat, barley, and sorghum. And then I'll do a soybean. Boy, I almost had a sneeze there, guys. I had to stop for a second. But then I didn't sneeze. I actually even turned my mic off. Oh, I need to figure out a place I can let the helper go. It's really hard to see the angles on this field. Let's see. Let's try this right here just to see what happens. Yeah, it looks like it'll cover. Now I can put my controller back down and let the helper do the work. See if he backs all the way up and catches this end. Looks like it, yep. A little bit easier to see where he's been than this with this crop type. That sorghum is hard to tell. This can be. A lot of times you have to kind of get down at ground level so you can see if there's any stalks sticking up. Now the question is how much are we going to get off this field? What's our yield going to be? Will it be enough to push us over that 100,000 liter mark? I don't know. Right now we're up to 6,500 liters off this field, and we need about 18,000. So we're a third of the way there. Are we a third of the field? No. Well, we just might make it, guys. We might make it to 100,000 liters of grain in our silo. And then we would just need to do that 1,000 more times. And we'll have those things full. It seems almost hilarious to even think that we could do 100,000 liters 1,000 times. Oh my goodness. I could see doing it maybe 100 times, but 1,000 times? Wow. Even 100 times would be really tough. If we did it 10 times, we'd have 1,000,000 liters. But we need 100 million. Okay, where are we at? There we are. Boy, you hit the gas on here to go and it don't go. It takes it a minute to get caught up. I guess to engage. There we go. Alright. I didn't look and pay any attention to what the... I don't even know what that harvester holds. I think 8,400 liters. I think, is that right? 84? Boy, we're going to be really close, guys. I think we're going to be, yep, 85. 8,500 liters. So I need 2 trailer loads plus some extra. I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to get that, guys. Now we also want to check and make sure that our greenhouses are topped off with water before the end of this episode, before we go. We'll do that before we do our, put the lights on our pathway, guys. We'll have everything that we need as far as the farm itself is concerned. We'll make sure all that stuff's done, and then we'll do a little bit of decorating. But I also want to consider putting some sheds. I don't like using sheds. I'm bad about not using sheds and just leaving my equipment sit wherever I put it. But I do, when I put sheds, I do try to use them, and I try to assign certain equipment to certain spots in a shed, and I do try to use it and put things back where they belong and stuff like that. But I will say that sheds do make the farm look better. So I will look at that too. I'm not sure I'm going to put any sheds down because I don't want to spend the money on that today. We need to make more money. And for me right now, to be able to buy more land and get more crops in the ground is more important than having a place to park a tractor. Because I can leave that tractor sitting wherever I want to and it'll be fine. But we'll see how it goes. We will take a look and see. I had sheds on this map before. I had them up at the yard. I think maybe I only had one. And I'm thinking right now we might want to put two. I had a cell point up there. And I don't have that cell point now. But I really didn't need it up there before because it's not that far of a drive over to where the grain buyer and all that stuff is, the dealership. I just always call that place the dealership. It has all the stuff over there as far as the granaries and stuff like that. But on some maps there are a cell point that I can actually buy and stick it on the farm, and I can sell all my stuff there instead of having to drive into where the dealership's at, where they buy the stuff at. But I could not find that. I looked all over the place. I could not find it. I don't know if it's specific to certain maps. It was not one of the mods. I looked through the mod store. I could not find it. And I've used it on, I know I've used it on No Man's Land. And it's just a flat cell point. You just stick it right on a road. There's no building or anything like that. It's just like a hole in the ground. But if you put it in the right place, then you can actually make it look like it's part of a silo system and stuff like that. Because I could buy another silo extension, or actually, well, not the way I have it set up now, but let's say for example, I had these two silos. Well, they're not over here. Where are they? But anyway, if I had those two silos sitting side by side like you see them in there, the main silo would have its own storage grate, and then in front of the other one I could put a grate that looked the same, but it would actually be a cell point. That could turn out to be confusing, and I might sell what I meant to put inside the grain elevator. But the main grain elevator, you can see it right there looking at it. It has the feeder tube for when you fill with. And you just have to pay attention to that, and I'd have to make sure that's the one I was dumping grain in that I wanted to keep, that it had the fill station on it also. that feels spout sticking out. The other one doesn't have one of those. So I would have to pay attention, but you could make it look really nice doing that. But that doesn't seem to be available with this map, or at least, like I said, I could not find it anyplace. So that idea got scratched. And that's one of the things I always like to do. Along with that the black fill station up there where we get our free stuff, I always like to have that sell point on my farm. And on this map I can't do that, but it's just a short trip right up that road over there, over to those trees in the distance right there. They're not too far away, so it doesn't take that long to run over there to sell something that we need to sell, like soybeans. Most everything else we'll be keeping anyway, so that's okay. I don't mind running over there to sell soybeans, or driving over there, not running. I do run around on this map quite a bit. Well, on any map, I do run a lot, as opposed to just like driving places. And you'll see me like fast travel from one vehicle to the next. I do that some, but a lot of times I also, oh, we're ready. We are ready to go collect some more grain. Will we get one more harvester full? I don't know. I'm thinking not. But I don't need it full. I'm going to need about 2,000 liters, and we should be able to get that. Actually, it might take a little bit less. I need about 18,000. I think I need about 18,000 to go over the 100,000 mark. And that'll be a milestone. Also, the first 100,000 liters. And then you have the first, like, million liters. And then, like, the first 10 million liters. And then when you get to 100 million liters, well, you know you got it going on, because your grain silo is going to be full. Okay, so hopefully we're going to be able to pick up another couple thousand liters. I think we will. Oh, I'm sure we will. We're up to 500,000 or 500 liters already. So I have no doubt that we'll easily have another 2,000. Had to take me a little drink of Coke Zero, guys. I am pre-diabetic, so some years ago I started drinking Coke Zero. And once you get used to it, it's pretty good. My nutritionist, I don't have a nutritionist today, but some years ago I had a nutritionist, and she wanted me to start drinking Diet Coke. I told her nope. I told her I'll drink Coke Zero, but I am not drinking Diet Coke. And she perhaps somewhat reluctantly agreed. She decided she was okay with that. I've made a lot of other changes to my diet there for a long time. It was kind of funny because she had me tell her like the normal stuff I would normally eat. So I did it. You know, for the most part, fast food. That was what was most convenient for me. And cost-wise, it didn't cost me any more to go to Jack in the Box than it would to go to the grocery store and buy something, take it home and fix it to eat. So it just made sense for me to just go buy fast food. But she didn't like that idea with me being pre-diabetic. And I also have chronic kidney disease. So she was wanting me to make changes. So I said, well, okay, I'll see if I can't do something. I'll try. So I went to the grocery store and I bought stuff, and the next time I saw her, now, you know, I thought, boy, okay, I made some changes. I bet she'll be happy about that. Now, she's a young girl, and I explained the changes I made to her, you know, and you know, she'd ask me, well, what did you substitute this with, and what did you substitute that with? And I would tell her, and she would just shake her head and tell me no, no, no. And it's like, you know, if it had been a test, I'd have failed. I'd have got every question wrong. Because everything I had switched to, she told me, no, that's not good enough. You know, that's no different than what you're eating. It's just, it's called different, it tastes different, but it's still the same, you know, it has the same kind of preservatives or whatever, you know, processed foods and stuff like that. So I told her, I said, well, you know, I don't know what I'm supposed to switch to. So she told me, she said, she asked me what grocery store I went to, and I was living in Hawaii at the time. So I told her, and she's like, I'll tell you what. She said, when do you want to go there? So I told her kind of what my plan was for the next time I was going to be going there. And she said, okay, I will meet you there. And she did. And she walked through the store with me, and all the stuff that I liked, she picked out substitutes. And I can't say I stuck with those substitutes for a real long time. I did give it a try. Now, I'm not going to say I just disregarded or anything like that. Because I did, and I tried to do what the doctors were wanting me to do, and even like my physical therapist and stuff like that, you know, I did everything. I was always their favorite patient, their favorite client, because they could see progress, they could see change. I told my doctor in Hawaii, and I told the nutritionist, that my goal, at that time I weighed 207 pounds, not overweight for my height, I'm 6 foot tall, so that's not really overweight, maybe a few pounds, but I told them that my goal was, by the time I turned 65, I wanted to lose weight, and I wanted to be back down to like 183. That was the number I told them, 183. I didn't really need to bring that harvester up here, but I'll go ahead and park it over here. Well, really, that's going to be in the way. It really is, because I want to look about putting sheds down. There's no point in me parking this up here just so I have to move it later. So I'm just going to park it over here. It won't hurt nothing. We'll park it right there. Now, let's go put this over here in the grain elevator. And then we're going to look and see what we got going on, okay? Are we going to break the 100,000 liter mark? I think so. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. I didn't really pay any attention to what that total number was in the trailer. So now we're going to have to get out. We're going to have to take a look. So let's go take a look. What do we have? We have, we have 30, 60, 80, 97, 98, 98, 99, 99, 8. Oh, we're about 200 liters short of our $100,000 or our 100,000 liter mark, but very close. Now, see what I was talking about, guys? Like on the silo here has the fill tube sticking out, and the extension does not. So if I had them sitting side by side instead of across from one another facing each other, then I could put a cell point, because the cell point that I like looks exactly like this, or almost exactly like this. It works just like that. It sits flat on the ground like that. There's no structure around it. So I could put it out in front of one of these silo extensions and make it look like the silo itself without the that fill pipe sticking out. So I think we're just going to leave this sit over here. I can leave the trailer sit right there. We need the fertilizer spreader. So we'll go up here and get the fertilizer spreader. I think we're going to save the game, which I don't do a lot of. I should do more of it. Let's save the game. Just in case. And that's all we needed to do right there. Now we got to go do some fertilizing. And this part I always do myself. It looks like there's some over here on the edge of this field. I need to back up. Well, no, something looked weird on the edge of that field right there. And I'm not sure why it looked like it did. I'm really way too close to the edge of that field spraying fertilizer over there like that. Oh well, it is what it is. Whoops, did that miss I think that missed a little bit. Yeah, it did. And that's why I run closer to the edge than what I really need to be. But I want to go check something on the other edge of this field, because something looked weird over there to me, and I want to find out what. For right now, we can just go back this way, so we don't have to drive all the way back down here again. We'll go ahead and get this now. And when I get down here like this, I'm just going to turn that off for a second. That'll save a little bit of fertilizer as we come back up through here. Now I'll turn it back on. Whoops. There's one little spot over here. It looks like it missed. Yep. And then I see these spots right here. And I'm thinking, what is happening here? See, that has nothing to do with fertilizer. So did the harvester skip those spots, or is that just something on the edge of the field? I bet that'll plow under when I plow it. All right, let's go fertilize this other one. And then we'll plow it up. This one's kind of hard to see. Yeah, this field's hard to see where you've been with the fertilizer. And I did not get to the edge of that field over there, so I'm going to have to do what I have to do to make sure it gets covered. A little bit missed is okay. I don't want to miss a lot though. A little bit is okay because it's not going to hurt the overall yield that much. It will affect it, so you always want to be aware of that it is going to be affected, but it won't be affected by a whole tremendous amount. So that's what you got to be careful about. If you miss, you don't want to miss like half your field, because that will hurt you. But if you just miss a little strip here or there, you can live with it like that. As far as the fertilization is concerned, it will yield just a little bit less, but not a tremendous amount. Now, if you miss it when you're planting, even if you miss it planting, if you're running your planter or your seeder, depending on what crop you're using, if you miss a little bit, it's okay. You know, you might miss a bushel of finished crop. See, I can't even tell from that angle down there where I've already been with the fertilizer. So this crop is hard to see, but this is the best way to do it. I didn't used to like to do it the way I do it now. I would do two times covering with this process right here, because you have to fertilize twice. And I would do both of those with this technique, because I can cover the field faster doing this than I can by using the seeder to plant and fertilize at the same time. But I decided that since I have to send a helper down through there with a seeder anyway, I would not have to come back out with another piece of equipment and go over the field again, because when the helper is putting down the seed, they can put down another layer of fertilizer. Now, a drawback to that, I have my helper set up to buy fertilizer. So, I wonder, maybe I can use this blue tractor to do the plowing with, and just leave the red one for seeding. Now let's see here. We'll have to cut us a headland row with this thing. There's no doubt we're going to have to cut a headland row with this. So we might as well do that. We want to make sure we do not want to create fields. Got to be careful. Make sure we don't hit the wrong button. And I have. And if you don't save it and you make that mistake, oh my goodness, you're not going to recover. I would highly recommend that you save your game more than I do. Seriously. I can laugh about it because it's my game that I'm not saving, but seriously, I would highly recommend that you save your game more than I do. Just in case. Actually, like every process that you finish, you should probably save after that process is done. When you get finished with it, you should probably save. I do not do that. I will play an entire 2.5 hour live stream and not save until I'm done. Now see, I don't know what that was there on the edge of the field, but it plowed up. I knew it would. I just don't know what it was. How it got there or why. Maybe I'll plow this whole field by myself this time. I say that and then I don't do it. Because I realize I can put a helper in there and I can set the controller down for a minute. Although on this field I can't set the controller down for very long before I'm having to pick it up and help the helper. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if I can actually do the whole field by myself without the helper. I mean, I know I can, but I usually end up deciding I don't want to. That's really the thing. I want to be able to set the controller down so my hands don't hurt. Now I do have wrist braces that I wear, but it's hard to wear them while I'm playing the game. It's hard to hold the controller, although I have done it. If I need to, I will, but it's not that easy. It's uncomfortable. But I do wear the braces themselves a lot. Now, I do not have a camera for my PlayStation, but my face is in other videos that are on this channel if you just need to see what I look like. But it's nothing special. I can hear my washer machine running, but I don't think you guys will be able to hear it. But if you do hear like some kind of noise in the background, then that's my washing machine. It's in the spin cycle. I can hear it running. But I don't think it shouldn't be a bother. I don't think you guys will be able to hear it. You might be able to, but if you do, it'll be very gentle. You won't really know what it is. You might hear you might have heard a noise kick in that you weren't hearing before and be wondering what that might be. That's the washing machine on the spin cycle. But like I said, I don't think you guys will hear it. It's not that loud. I can hear it though. And I'm not sure how sensitive the microphone is. On this headset. I think it works pretty good because I do not have the microphone boom directly in front of my mouth. It's actually like more up around by my eyeball. I have it kind of pushed up away from my mouth, and it's more up towards my eyeball. And I think it works out pretty good volume wise as far as the mic volume is concerned. Well, I'm thinking I'm going to be able to finish this field by myself, guys. I'm not going to have to put no helper on it. This is kind of a small field for using a helper, simply because the helper has to have help with this part. Now I will put a helper on the next one. I'm not going to try to do that next one. I can feel my hands starting to ache already. But we'll get us a headland row around the other one. And then I'll turn the helper loose, and we'll just have to help the helper when he gets to the end of his rows and does his turnarounds, because they never do them right. With a different type of plow, maybe. But with this plow, and then there's a couple of other ones that are like this one, they work kind of the same. They don't plow properly. Alright, that takes care of that part. Got us a little, maybe an octagon going in there. Okay. Field plowed. Alright, we go get this next one. Get the next one. I guess I'm going to go this way. So we'll start like this right here. And here we go. And this one will have a little trouble climbing up the hill. $3 miles an hour, boy. That's not very fast. 3 miles an hour. Ooh, come on now. Well, maybe it'll pick up some speed up here across the top part. Yeah, we're up to 10 miles an hour. So really what we want to do now is we want to turn around. When we get down here to this end, we're going to want to turn around, kind of go back towards the other end. Let's just do this. Let's pick that plow up, and let's go back down here. We want to come basically all the way back down this way and see where do we want to do this at. We want to be like this. So I want maybe like this. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's going to work. Got it. Good. Okay. Now we just have to help him on the ends, because he might get this one. No, he's not. So we watch for the plow to drop, and as soon as it starts to drop, we fire the helper. That sounds bad, but that's what we do. We let him turn around, get himself positioned, and if he's not going to start in the right spot, we fire him. But we know that the tractor is lined up, and then we just back straight up and rehire a different helper. But we have to do this at both ends of the field. So we end up hiring and firing a bunch of people. But hey, that's what it is. If they would, see, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to mess up, because I can tell by the way they turn. See that? Now that's where he thinks that he's going to start plowing that field instead of backing up. And why they don't back up, I don't understand. But they don't, because he should be starting all the way back here. All the way back here. But they don't do that. And it does not make sense to me. But now you can see in the direction where we got this tractor running now, we're running crosswise on this field, lengthwise. We're running the long way, but we're also running along the top edge. So we're running with the hill. We're not running up and down the hill. We're running back and forth across the side of the hill. So now there's no strain on the tractor caused by the hill. And you can see it's running much faster. We're running it at 8, 9. We were at 10 miles an hour on the last pass through. But 9 miles an hour is much better than 4 or 5 or even 6, because it's half again as fast as the 6 miles an hour. So we just get done that much faster by running in this direction. And there's less turning around. And that really saves time, overall time. The less that your helper has to turn around. See, he just had to skip that one little thing right there. It would have been just as easy for him to drop the plow right there and catch that little edge as it was for him to not do it. And he got fired for it. That sounds bad. I fire too many people. Sorry guys, I had to yawn. It's 10:15 where I live. Let's see here. Now I'm going to have to help this guy again. Maybe he can get this one. Maybe he'll get this one. We will see. Okay, I think he got that one right. Now let's see if we have to help him on this end again. I think he did the other end correctly. Yeah, it looks like he's going to do this one correct. You can kind of tell by where he backs up to. He's actually setting a marker for himself as to where he wants to start. So yeah. So the angle is right on this side now, because the high point, when he comes back to this end and gets turned around, the high point is the part he's going to connect with first, and that's what he's using as a gauge. And it looks like that's the case on the other end too, so we should be good now on both ends. But you can see we had to get down in here a little ways. It would be really nice if this guy would finish, or girl, I don't know which one it is driving, but it would be really nice if the helper would finish this field out by doing things correctly. Now I see something I want to look at here in a minute. Let's see if this guy actually does start correctly. Yep. I want to run over here for a second by these rocks. Okay, I already got that, didn't I? I was looking to see if there was a collectible over here. I guess I already got it. All right, let's go. Let's run. Run! Run, Forrest! We got to catch up with this guy before he turns around so we can make sure he does it right. We might need to help him, but I'm thinking maybe at this point. There we go. Get in there. All right. All right, did it right that time. So maybe it's going to finish this field out correctly. That would be really nice if it did. I didn't pay that much attention down on this end though to make sure that it did it correctly, but I think it did because I saw where it was marking itself at. See how it stops a little bit and then it adjusts itself? It's determining where where the edge of the field is, where it's going to start at. Now, I cannot leave that little thing in there. He missed one little plant top or something. Well, not a plant top, but you know what I mean. He left that actually a plant, one stalk, where it has like a bulb on the top of it, even though it's already been thrashed. Now, when I was growing up, I had a couple of uncles. They had farms, and they had tractors and cultivators. I actually did cultivate fields a couple times over the summer. That was kind of fun because that wasn't something my family and one of my uncles and his family, we were the city folk, and then the rest of, like my dad's family, they were the country folk. So when I was younger, young teenager age, then during the summer I got to go spend a couple weeks at my uncle's house. One in particular, but the other uncle lived just like a half a mile away because they all owned acreage farms and they were like neighboring. So it was fun, riding horses and all that kind of stuff. But probably one of the more fun parts for me was when I got to run like my uncle's tractor and pull the cultivator behind it and stuff. That was like a lot of fun. If I had to do that today, it would probably be rather boring. But when you're 13, running a tractor, and you're a city boy, and you're running a tractor, pulling a cultivator, that was pretty cool. And my uncle, not the one with the tractor and the cultivator that I would use. My other uncle had tractors and cultivators too, but I didn't use his, but the other uncle did. But the one whose tractor I didn't run, he had a horse. And that horse, when you got on that horse, the first thing it would do would be, it would walk underneath the clothesline. And the clothesline would basically just drag across its back. And if you fell off that horse, when it walked under that clothesline, you weren't going to ride that horse. Because when you got back on it, it would go under the clothesline again. If you stayed on the horse when it went under that clothesline, it would let you ride it. And that was just like a really weird thing, but that horse would do that every single time. If you got on that horse to ride it, it walked under the clothesline. And if you could stay on it, then you could ride it. If you fell off, you had to try again. And the same uncle, he would pay us a penny per weed. We'd be pulling weeds by hand out of his field for a penny per weed. I never made a whole lot of money doing that. But I did it. And I did it for money, you know. And at that point in time, I mean, when you're young like that, and you have your own money that you work for, it doesn't really matter that it's not a whole lot. It seems like a lot. I can look at it now and say, you know, that wasn't very much money. And it was hot work because the sun would be beating down on you and stuff like that. But at the same time, even though that was the case, you know, you were still thinking about that money. Because as a young kid, you didn't have your own money. You didn't have a job or nothing. So when you had a chance to make your own money, and of course I was already used to working to make money. I mowed my neighbors' yards, raked leaves, shoveled snow. So I was used to working for money. And I could probably pull enough weeds in an hour or however long. I could pull enough weeds to make $5, and that's what I would get for mowing my neighbor's yard. It was a pretty big yard, and it would take me a while to do it, but I would make $5. And I figured, I guess at the time, I figured, well, you know, it probably takes me about the same amount of time to make $5 pulling weeds as it does mowing yards. But I mowed an entire block. I had all the yards on an entire block. And I would mow all of them on the same day. And that was really thanks to my older brother, because my older brother is the one that originally had the job with one of my neighbors. But then he relocated. He was a little bit older than me, and he went and well, to start with, he just couldn't make it one weekend to mow these people's yard. So they asked me if I thought I could do it. And it's a pretty big yard. And my dad didn't really think I could do it because he thought it was going to be too big. And I just wouldn't have the energy to be able to finish it, you know. But anyway, I did it, and it worked out fine. So after I did their, I kept doing their yard. And then after that, like one of the other neighbors wanted me to do their yard. And then eventually, my brother, like I said, he's a little older than me. He ended up moving he relocated, and I just ended up getting the whole block. Everybody on that block let me mow their yard. Whoops, I don't want to do that. I want to put that over here. Now, let's go over here. We got to remember to pick up. I don't know why that weight is laying there like that. How? Okay, we have soybeans set already, so we're good to go with that part of this thing. So let's drop it down. And we're going to do, we'll turn it on, drop it down, lower it, and then here we go. Soybeans. Money. It is our cash crop. Now let's see, if we do the headland row, hire a helper. Hire a helper. All right, we hired a helper. Let's see how he does. Hopefully he'll do okay. Most of the time, I think on this operation, the helper does okay. I still might need to take out a tree or two up here. Either that, or I may have to just change the direction at which I start running the helper. So hopefully none of those trees actually get in the way. It is possible though. But I don't like taking trees out that I don't need to take out. Because I don't want the place to look like it's bare of trees. Now, my no man's land map, I took all the trees off of it. And I kind of wish I had not done that. But I had played it with the trees on it, and I did like it that way, and I wanted to try it without the trees. And I haven't played on that map in a little while. I do like the way I have it set up so far. But I don't know how much I'll fully like it with no trees on it. But that remains to be seen. And I might actually do some live streaming on that map as well. We'll see. I mean, I actually will probably do Elm Creek, because I lost all the stuff I had for Elm Creek, and I actually did like that map. And like I was telling you guys in one of my other live streams that I bought this like a flash drive, memory stick kind of thing, and it would hold 2 terabytes of information. So I bought it so I could put all my stuff on my PS4 onto that memory stick, because originally I wanted to do that because then I could take my stuff with me, or I could take the memory stick with me when I went to my daughter's house in Texas, because her husband had a PS4. And I had a couple of the same games that he had, and I could take a couple of my own games with me, and I would have all my game save information on this memory stick, a flash drive, or whatever they're called. And so I had all that stuff saved on there. Now, I never did end up taking it and playing my stuff at their house. But when I bought that flash drive, that memory stick, it said for PS4 or PS5. Or I assumed it meant both, PS4 or PS5. But apparently it meant one or the other, because when I got it, I had to format it. And of course it was formatted to my PS4. I didn't have a PS5 at that time. But I recently got a PS5 a year ago, and I went to use that memory stick with it to upload data from the memory stick to my PS5, and it would not read it. It said I had to reformat it. So all that information from my PS4 is on that memory stick, and I can't access it because I gave my PS4 to my grandson, and he ended up knocking it off this thing where we kept it, and it broke it. So I could probably get it fixed. I just haven't looked into having that done yet. But I don't know how much it would cost to have it fixed, because I don't know what's wrong with it. Something inside it quit working properly, so it won't read the disc anymore. So I have all this information, this PS4 information, which one of those is Elm Creek on Farming Simulator. So I might do an Elm Creek live stream on Elm Creek also, because I did like that map. And what I liked about it was it already has the production chains. They're already on the map. All you got to do is buy them. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll end up playing Elm Creek, doing live stream on Elm Creek also. So I do have some different things I can do. Like I said, I just have to kind of figure out, do I want to do this every day? Do I want to do this a couple of times a week? You know, what do I want to do? Right now, I have been making a video pretty much every day. This is my second one for today, because I did one earlier this morning, like I said, just kind of experimenting with different time frames to see if people watch. Nobody's come in while I've been making this one. Nobody came in while I was making one this morning. To be honest, recording at 2 o'clock in the morning, from 2 to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, I had more people watch during those hours than I have during the daytime or early night like it is now. It's 20 minutes till 11 where I live, and I'm the only one that's actually been on here. Nobody's watched, and I mean that's okay. I'm not complaining. I don't mean it like that. I just mean that my experiment so far says that I've had more success as far as people watching, because I had up to three people watching at one time when I was recording at 4 o'clock in the morning, as opposed to 10 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. So I may make that test again tomorrow night. I may wait, and I may get on here at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I may record until well, who knows when. Just whenever I decide that that's about all I can do for one day. I try to do things to where the farm itself, it's based on where the farm is, but sometimes it has to be like, well, how sleepy do I get? How tired do I get? How much do my hands hurt? Can I keep going? I did a snow runner video this morning, and I played it because you can't hire a helper in snow runner. You have to do it all yourself. So I played it for about 2.5 hours. That's an estimate, rough 2.5 hours. Now see, that guy messed up because he did not catch that one little part right there. Why? Why did you not do that, Mr. Helper person? Let's get turned around. Get him repositioned. Send him back. Now say, okay, go ahead. So yeah, like I was saying, I like to make sure the farm is where I want the farm to be when I end an episode. And we're almost there. We got one more field to, we got to go over there. We got to plant this other field yet. But then, like I said, I want to look at putting a couple of sheds where I might position those sheds up in the yard. And then I want to put lights on the pathway. I may do the lights first because I'm actually going to do the lights. I am not going to buy sheds today. I don't want to spend the money on that right now. And they're not real expensive either. The ones I'm going to get, they will not be like really expensive, but I just don't want to buy them yet. I want to buy more land. And right now, I probably have enough money to buy one parcel of land for $169,000. I know one of the parcels of land that I want is $179,000, so I wouldn't even be able to buy it. Now, I need to do something because this guy's having troubles. Now, that will help him out. That's going to help him out. There we go. There we go. Now we can turn him loose. And hopefully now he'll be able to finish okay. I should have run that headland row out to start with. I just wanted to experiment. A lot of this stuff is experimental. That's the only way you can figure it out and kind of learn what you can do, what you can't do. Well, you can do about whatever you want to, but really you learn what is the best technique that works for you the way you want things done. And if you're new at this game and you really want to learn things, technical type things, there are several guys that just put out awesome tutorials how to use the equipment and, you know, well, what equipment works best for what situation and stuff like that. A lot of guys with tutorials. So I would encourage you to watch those if you're really wanting to learn the technical parts of the game. I kind of just wanted to learn, you know, what button do I push to make it do this, and what button do I push to make it do that, and then we'll go from there. And I've come up with some pretty nice looking farms. Some of these guys, especially the guys that play on computer, where they're not limited by the amount of memory space they're allowed to use, where they can use, so they can decorate more. I don't do much with decorations, bushes and stuff like flowers and stuff like that, because those all take up memory slots, and I'm only allowed so many slots. And all the equipment takes up slots. Everything you do takes up a slot or more. So you just have to be careful. So I don't do a lot of decorating, which would be fun to do. I think it would be real cool to do. Now that's going to be a problem also. Like I said, I want to buy a Planet Zoo, and I want to play some of that. And I just happened to see a video by the lady Signer, and she's my favorite on the zoo, the Planet Zoo. She's my favorite zoo creator. She's so good at the enclosures and decorating and stuff. There are others who are as well, but she is the one. I watched her videos. She's probably one of the first ones playing Planet Zoo that I watched just recently also. And her ability to decorate and how to use the tools, and she played on the computer, but she was doing a review of the upcoming console release, and she was talking about how if you're on console, you're limited to a certain number of slots. And boy, I don't like that. I wish they would figure out a way to eliminate that, because personally, I think if I want to fill up my entire hard drive on my PS5 with on one map in Planet Zoo, I should be able to do that, because it's mine. I should be able to use the memory any way I want to, but they don't allow that. PlayStation does not allow that. So I really wish they would change that, because it's like PlayStation kind of owns my PlayStation, and they tell me what I can and can't do with it, you know? So that part I don't like. But thankfully, she did a good job in her video in explaining things. And even though, as far as the objects will be able to, the number of objects that will be able to place on a single map is limited, it's not extreme limited. Because she showed a couple of the zoos that she had created, and they were they had there were less objects than what the console players will be allowed to use, and they looked really good. They were really cool maps, and she ended up with some really nice zoos. But it was still, you know, it's just, to me it's a bummer, because I paid for the PlayStation and it was expensive, this PS5, and then I have PlayStation telling me how I can use it, how much can I play one game. Well, until the allotted memory for that game runs out. Well, to me, that's just not right, because I paid for it. I should be able to use it any way I want to. But I don't get to. But anyway, that's just my opinion on that right there. All right, let's get this field planted. I will do a headland row around here. Well, I may not do a headland row all the way around. We'll see. I'm probably going to do a headland row on 3 sides, 2 sides, yeah, maybe 2. It may just end up being 2 sides, because I want to run this back and forth across the top of the field like we did with the plow. Now, I'm going to stop right here for a second. See that grassy area right there? I was going to extend this field over into that area right there. But I think, let me look at something. I just want to look at something. That's not what I wanted to look at. I want to look in here. I want to go right here. Construction. I want to look at production, and I want to look at generators. I am interested in solar panels, but there are yeah, here we go. I want to look and see. I thought I had a solar farm. Oh yeah, see, look at that. That won't fit over here. Oh, that's the wrong direction anyway. So that will not fit here. That's huge. I had no idea it was that huge. Let's see what we got here. What is this? Solar system, large. So this would not be bad. If I can get a couple, yeah. So if I can get a couple of these put down in here, what will that make me? That's going to make me $400 a month, or $480 a month. I would not mind having one, at least 2 of these over here. So I think we'll end up doing that. You could put as many, I could put them as close as, you know, I could put as many as I want over here. Because either way, it's going to make me $480 a month. It doesn't have to even be facing the sun, you know. But I kind of want to make it look realistic. So I could do 2 of those for $480 a month. So I am thinking about doing that over here. Whoops. I thought I turned that on. I guess I turned it off. Actually, I already had it turned on. I had just left it sit there, and then I turned it. There we go. All's well. Got it restarted. Now I think once I get this going here, oh, not that way. Don't do that. Go this way. There we go. Now we'll see how well it works. I was trying to think, do I have any other games I could actually play that I could do live streams with? I do have like a 2K, I think, what is it, 2K20, maybe 2K23 or 2K22. Oh, I bet it's 2K22 I have. I was going to get 2K23 for the WWE, but then it was really expensive, so I decided not to get that one. But I do have 2K22. I never played it that much. I think I thought I was going to like it more than I ended up liking it, but I never really played it that much to give myself a chance to like it. But like I say, I am not a big gamer. I'm playing some games now simply because it's something I have access to that I can put on the channel. So as long as I can do things kind of like I've been doing, I don't know if I'm going to put out like a video every day though. Like I said, I'll have to just see how it goes. If I have 3 or 4 games, if I can do 1 video per game every week, that would be pretty good. For me anyway, because like I said, I'm not a big gamer. But I do want to provide some kind of content for the channel. It would be, I mean, I think that's cool. It would be nice to have subscribers. It would be nice to have enough subscribers. To be honest, I would like to have 1,000 subscribers. I would like to meet YouTube's qualifications for live streaming. That way when I do a non-gaming video, I could live stream it. Because that's really what I want to do, more than just making videos. I'd like to live stream those videos. So I am hoping that at some point in time, I can be eligible for YouTube live streaming. Until then, I have to use PlayStation. Now, I do not know how the PlayStation camera works. I would be interested in learning more about the camera and kind of how you can configure some things. Because I was wondering if I could use a PlayStation camera and make what the camera sees cover the entire screen. You know, because like I watch these streamers that have cameras they have their image on there. Well, just how big can you make that image and the background of that image? If you could make it cover the entire screen of whatever the game was, to where you could turn all the volume down and there was no sound, and because the camera image was covering up the game image, then I could actually focus that camera on anything I wanted to and live stream that. So I am interested in like looking into that some at some point in time, and to see if it would work that way, because I could kind of get around the YouTube qualifications or prerequisites, or however, you know, the requirements. If I could use a PlayStation camera, because I was thinking I might like to do like a jigsaw puzzles, but I want to live stream it. I don't want to just make, you know, hour-long videos. I could make videos that are 2 or 3 hours long, whatever length I want to, and post them to YouTube, but I would rather do live streaming. But I could go that route. I could actually use my cell phone and use it and record jigsaw puzzles and just upload them that way. I could do that. Because I already have my first puzzle picked out. I'm not sure if I'm going to get into doing that or not. Like I said, because that's another thing that would probably make my hands hurt. But it would be something I could do for the channel that would be not different, because there's a lot of people doing jigsaw puzzles. I guess one of my favorite, I would say, is Karen Puzzles. And I would like to buy one of her puzzles, because she actually does have a couple of published jigsaw puzzles. And they have her name and picture on the box and everything. And I think that's cool. So I do want to buy one of her puzzles. I'm not sure when I'll do that. But I would like to do one of her puzzles. I'd like to do it on video, you know. It would be cool. Just because she's another YouTuber. And she's the only one that I know that has her own puzzles published. Now, I don't know if you guys like the commentary or not. I don't think I have any comments. In fact, I don't think anybody's really ever commented on any of my videos, other than maybe one of my own family members. So if you happen to watch this video, you know, feel free to drop a comment. Now, see, we're going the lengthwise on this field, the long way across it. And that's really what we want to do, because it's less times the helper has to turn around. And that saves time It probably does not save a tremendous amount of time, but it does save time. And speaking of time, you will notice I am playing in real time. When I play by myself off camera, which now I'm not doing that, I don't see myself doing that again, because I figure if I'm going to play it, I might as well live stream it while I can. So I probably won't be doing any off-camera play. I might do a thing here or there that'll be off-camera, but it's all about setting up for the next live stream when I do it. Like I said today, before I got on here, I actually loaded the game and I went in and I ran the clock. Well, I didn't really run the clock, but I went over to the RV and I did a sleep until 8 o'clock the following morning, which was 2.5 hours ago. And then I saved it and I exited back out, just so I could bring you guys in on the screen, the start screen where I always bring you in. Although I think one video that I live streamed, I forgot to exit back out to that particular screen, like the home screen for the game. And that's the screen I like to start on. But I think in one of my streams I had forgotten to do that. So when I started the live stream, I was already in the game. I wasn't thinking about it. But there'll be very little that I do off camera. Sorry guys. It's a little bit after, about 10 minutes after 11 where I live. Seems like every time I yawn, I got to tell you guys what time it is. Not that anybody asked, but just to let you know. And it seemed like, you know, it's one thing for me to be yawning at 3:30 in the morning. It's kind of understandable, but then I was yawning like at 9 o'clock this evening. But that's just one of the things I do. When I yawn, I tell y'all what time it is. Well, so far, this guy is doing a pretty good job. I always say guy, this guy. Could be a girl. But when I say guy, I just mean individual, you know, because when I'm talking to you all, I say guys, hey guys, but that includes the girls. You know, if I said gentlemen, then that would only include the men, or ladies would only include the women. But when I say guys, hey guys, that includes everybody. And that was just a little clarification, just so everybody understands. I'm not leaving the women out. Speaking of women, I will tell you that I was a little bit surprised that I never saw more women playing this game. Because I know there are lots of women farmers, and I have seen women play this game, yes. But I was surprised that, you know, I didn't see more. Especially just within the gaming community itself, because you don't really need to be a farmer to play this game. and to enjoy playing it, really. Now, a lot of people, they don't like these slow-paced kind of games and stuff, and that's understandable. Everybody has their genre that they like, but if you like tycoon-type games, build-it type games, and stuff like that, then, you know, this is a good game because that's what you're doing. I once played a digital version of Monopoly, and it turned out so cool because I was able to own almost all the properties and keep everybody else in the game by just giving them money. So I would help them out by giving them money just to keep them in the game. I ended up with so much money that it was just incredible. And all they had was what I would give them. Because they were out of money. But I wouldn't let them go bankrupt. Okay, I see we have a new viewer. It popped up on my TV. Welcome. We're just going to finish plowing up this field, or not plowing, but planting this field right here. And then after we finish this field, we're going to go put some like some light posts. I'm not sure what type, but I have a pathway that I want to go light up. I want to line it with some lamp posts, and then I want to look at putting a couple of sheds. And this field won't take too much longer. It'll take a few more minutes, but we're getting closer. Now I also got to make sure I top off the water in my greenhouses. I haven't checked them yet. I wonder if there's a menu where I can check that from. I don't know. I'll look for that later. I'll just try to... We'll just go over there here in a few minutes when this is done and top off all those water tanks on the greenhouses. Take a little farm tour, since I do have somebody watching. It may be somebody who has not watched before, so we'll go on a little bit of a farm tour. The farm's not that big. A tour won't take more than a couple minutes because it's really not that big. but it's going to get bigger. It is growing. Now I'm planting soybeans in this field here, and I just planted another field of soybeans, the one you see across the way over there. I just planted that in soybeans also, because soybeans is a cash crop, and right now we need some cash. So if my watcher is not a subscriber, I would ask you if you would care to subscribe to my channel, just to give me another subscriber. I've been talking about all kinds of different topics and stuff, and then I kind of run out of stuff after a while. I was talking about the channel itself and trying to figure out, you know, really what kind of stuff I want to put on this channel, and my original ideas just didn't work out very well. And games are about the only thing that I really can do. And especially seeing how I can do live streams through the PS5. I cannot just, I can't do live streams through YouTube, so I have to do them through the PS5 and post them to YouTube. And that works, but that obviously means that we're limited to games. And I'm not a big gamer. There are some games I like to play, but it's like, you know, some people, they just play like hours and hours every day. That's what they do. And I know some of these content creators, that's what they're doing. But I'm just not a gamer to that extent, but I may become one. I have to kind of figure out, you know, just how much do I really want to play and stuff like that. And right now I don't know. I'm kind of experimenting with what's the best time of day for me to be doing live streams and stuff like that. Personally, for my household, is probably my first few live streams were, I started around 3 o'clock in the morning. And for my household, that's probably the best. But is that the best for those who might watch, you know, that might join the stream and stuff? I don't know. The time will tell. I'll just have to, you know, experiment with different time slots. Like I made a video this morning. I don't even remember what time it was. Probably around 10 o'clock this morning, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I don't think anybody watched. I never saw that anybody was watching other than myself. And so now it shows I have one other person watching. The most I've ever had was 2 other people watching. Of course, I've only made a couple of videos, and my channel is very small. And I don't know how people like on YouTube, how they even like stumble across like such a small little channel like mine, because I only have 20 subscribers, you know. And so it's like, I don't know if I've ever watched a channel on YouTube that only had 20 subscribers. I know, like, I watched a family member's channel when they first started their channel, because they told me about it and they told me how to get to it. But I don't think just ever getting on YouTube and scrolling through the videos, I've come across a really tiny little channel. Just because YouTube doesn't put those out where you can see them. So it's like, it always makes me happy when I see that somebody's watching. I did have one person a couple of days ago. I can't remember. I think it was one of my late night live streams. They actually came and they talked to me for a few minutes in the chat, which was really cool, and it was like exciting, and I was talking real loud and everything, and it was like, okay, wait a minute, I don't need to be talking loud because he can hear the microphone. It was actually kind of funny, but just because I was talking real loud and everything, I really was, because it was the first time anybody had been in the chat, so I had a couple of people watching, but they were not in the chat, so and that was different. It was new. I just ran over a sign. I run over signs all the time. That is one of the drawbacks to go work in the field in the direction that I was working this field in. Because I should have known it was going to hit that sign. I really didn't think about it. I did know it. I just didn't think about it. And now I wiped out the sign. But I hit signs all the time in this game. I've mentioned in a couple of my other live streams that I wish the street signs were somehow connected to the traffic, because the traffic you can turn off, which on this map it's I have it turned off, not for this map but for the game, because I went into the settings and I turned the traffic off. So I wish when you turn traffic off it eliminated the traffic signs, because you don't need traffic signs if there's no traffic. And the traffic signs just get in the way. I end up knocking them down all the time. In fact, there is a stop sign right over there on the other side of that first silo right there. And I just went over and picked it up out of the ground and went over and leaned it against the silo. But of course, once you leave the game and come back in, it respawns. But I think it looks much more cool leaning up against the silo than it does in the ground at the corner of the road, because it serves no purpose. But I did have a guy, like I was saying, I did have somebody come in the chat room. It was a couple of nights ago, 2 or 3 nights ago now. And it was around probably 3 o'clock in the morning. And he also makes videos of this game, live streams. And he did subscribe to my channel, and so I went and subscribed to his channel to show him the same support, because I appreciated the fact that, you know, he's a bigger channel than me, and he came over and helped out a little guy like me. So I went over there and I gave him some support too. And then I ended up getting one more subscriber, because he was number 19. I now have 20. I don't know who number 20 was, but they didn't come through the chat, which But it was cool when that dude showed up because it was the first person that had actually been in the chat. So hopefully in the future, when somebody does show up in chat, I won't get quite so excited. I'll be happy about it. It'll be cool, but hopefully I won't get like overly excited, because that was pretty exciting. It was a milestone. First time anybody ever been in the chat. And I'm kind of like a milestone kind of person. I kind of have like my targets are milestones. Like, I don't know if you've been in here before when I've been playing, if you've been watching, but like those silos right there, and you might be familiar anyway. You might play this game, you might use those silos and stuff like that, but you know, those hold 50 million liters each. So I have storage right there for 100 million liters of grain. And right now, I've got like 98,000 liters of grain stored in them. So 100,000 liters will be the first milestone. So I'm still about 2,000. I have right about 98,000 liters. So I'm 2,000 liters short of hitting that first milestone. And then also, like, you know, once a farm gets to where you could do nothing else with it and you would still be able to turn a profit with it, that's like a milestone. I mean, it's not a big farm. It's a rather small farm. On this map with 3 fields, the original 3 fields that I first put on here, then I was actually a profitable okay, that's done. So now the fields are planted. Let's just take a quick little tour. You may not have seen the farm before. And I need to do something down here anyway. So I got my greenhouses and my chickens down here. We just filled the that little silo for the chickens right there. We just filled that up. So they're all good to go for a while, several months really. But I do need to go over here. Now I want to show you something like here. Like I said, you may be familiar with all this stuff. But then again, you may not be. You may not be somebody who actually plays the game, but we have a free water supply right here. And I can actually fill this truck with water and not be in it, I can just park it and it will fill itself. And I really like that. See, that did not take much at all. Well, that one appears to be... Is that one full or was the other one? Which one did we just fill up? I did not do a good job. I did not do a good job of putting these greenhouses in here. I really did not. See, I can't figure out... Okay, that's what I wanted. Well, that didn't really change much. It keeps telling me to put water in there. I just put water in there. I want to put water on this side. Okay. And then we got to do these 2. Okay. I need to try to put a road in over here through here, but well, that didn't look too... I guess I got it. Okay, well, that's good enough. Now we'll just go over here and park again. And we'll start filling this back up. can just park right here. Just like that. And of course I have to get out up here. That's funny. I should park the other way maybe. I should pull in from the other direction. Let me try that. I have not tried that before. So let me see if I can just turn around and come in from this side. I just want to make sure I'm, yeah, like that. There we go. That's better. So yeah, it's still a rather small farm. I'm wanting to buy some more land, but I don't have money for it right yet. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields. So I have soybeans grow. Actually, I have soybeans growing in that green field right there. Soybeans in the field we just planted. Soybeans in this field in front of us here. And we just planted that. And then we have what do we have over here? I don't even remember what I put over here, quite frankly. What do we have? Canola. Okay. I couldn't remember if I put canola back in there or if I changed it to something else. And then in that far field over there, the darker green, that's also soybeans. And the reason I have all the soybeans is just because they're a cash crop. And I want to buy another piece of property. And we have our bees right here. And there's not much more to the farm other than that right there. It's a small beginning farm, but it's coming along. We have free fuel, free seed and fertilizer in that thing right there, that fill station. Now, one of the things I want to do before I end this particular stream is I want to put down some lights, and then we're going to have to run the clock and let it be nighttime so I can see what they look like after I'm done. I'll disconnect that. So we want to put some lights on this path right here. But I'm not real sure what lights I want to put. Let's see. We need, what do we need? Decorations. Yeah, lights. I'm not sure. I do know that I do want this one, but I want it over in the yard. I'm not sure where, but not for the path. That's not going to be for the path. That's too bright. I don't know. I'm trying to find. I hope I can find. See, that's not. I don't even see anything in here that I actually want. And I don't know what that looks like. I could try those, but I don't know what those look like. They're not really what I want. I thought I had some other options. Let me see. No, that would be the only thing I'd know to do. I thought I had some other options than that. Well, what is this? I wonder how bright that is. It's a $200 light. So let's look at it like this. The only thing I can do is put it down like this. And then let's just come kind of straight across. We'll turn this around this way, just so we can kind of see what's going on here. They don't have to be exact. They can be moved. But let's just try to get some idea. Let's try 2 lights. I don't think I'm going to like those that much. But let's go... you know what? I think I'm gonna speed the clock up. I'm just gonna run the clock. Right there. Let's let that clock run for a few minutes, and then we'll be up to we'll have the time that we need. We need for it to get dark, just so I can see what the lights look like. I don't know that I'm going to like those. I can experiment with a couple of different types just to see what's going to suit the purpose need. You haven't seen why. I think you'll like it. But we got to get up on top of the hill. We got to put some lights up to the top of the hill first. So we'll just let this clock run for a second here. We need for it to get dark. And that'll be soon. And then we can slow the clock back down. Assuming those are automatic lights. It should be getting dark soon at 7 o'clock. Okay, the light came on. One of them came on. Did both? Yeah, both of them came on. Okay. So now we can put it back. Okay, that's not too bad. So if I come up here and we go back in here and we go back to decorations and we go back to lights and we go to the very one on the end. Okay, so that puts up another light right here. I don't really want it that far away from the path. How's this one sitting? Fairly close. I don't want to leave I probably should have those a little bit farther away. Let's see, let's just try this. Let's go across here, turn it around this way. We'll put a light in. We'll put one over here. Like that. Turn it around this way. Put it in here. like this. Let's come up this way. See if we can turn around this way a little bit. Something like this. Now this is not going to be perfect. It can be fine-tuned later on, I guess. Could do something with it to make it like a little bit more spaced out perfectly or whatever, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want it to be lit up so it can be walked on at night. That is the main goal. I think something like that. We'll just come around here, turn it back around this way. Something similar to this. Now let's see. I can't really, that one's hard to see. I got a tree branch in the way. I think that's probably okay. I can't really see where it's at. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, let's come across, turn it around this way. And that's going to be okay. I can't see. I can't see. Okay, I just stretch back out just a little bit right there. I think I need to move on the other side of this tree. And that's going to kind of, ooh, I may have to do something a little bit different here. Let's try to put one about right here. And then I may have to just come back around this way and put another one. Really hard to see in these trees where I'm putting stuff. Let's come straight across. I can kind of see where that goes. We're just going to put it there. I can't see. Got a tree in the way. Can I get one in here too? Yeah, it looks like I can. I'm just going to put one in there. I cannot see. Let's get turned back around this way. That's good enough. It's got the path lit up, and that's the main thing that I'm looking for. Light this path up. We might be about finished. Let's go straight across, roughly about right in there. Turn it back around. About like that. Maybe something about like that. Come straight across. Turn it around. Something about like that. Let me see. about like that. Come straight across. Put that right there. Ah, we're almost there. Almost there. Let's see. Let's go here. We'll go here like this. We'll go like that. And then we're going to put one right here. About like this. And right there. Perfect. Now let's see how this works out. Oh, awesome. Yep, that worked out just like I wanted. Perfect. Yep. Good deal. Other than terraforming, and I'm horrible at terraforming, so I'm not messing with none of that. I don't mind doing a little bit of landscape painting, but as far as the terraforming, and I don't know why it has all these bumps and stuff in it like this. It was like that already. But it has a nice lighted pathway all the way up there to the outhouse. Very good. Now what we need to do is now I need it to be daylight. So we're just going to sleep until 8 o'clock. And then I want to look at putting a couple of sheds up here. I'm not sure where I can put them. So we need to move some stuff around just a little bit. I'm not going to put sheds here right now. I just kind of want to move some stuff out of the way. Oops. That's what I meant to do. Now, I'm going to go grab this fertilizer spreader. Oh, that did not work. Let's see. And we'll take this over here, and it can just sit right there like that. And we'll just pull this over like this. Now, let's look at construction buildings, sheds. Now, which one do I really... This is the one I'm used to. Can I put this back here like this? This would be pretty good like that. If I could put one there like that. Okay. That's 10,000, but that's 13,000 up there. That means there's going to be a lot of terraforming. It's really going to change the layout of the ground if I do it that way. So I'm not sure that's what I want to do. Let me see here. That would not be too bad. But I don't think I like it over here on this side. I think I would rather it be over here. Actually, I would rather it not be anywhere. But I might put one right here, one over on this side. I wouldn't mind that too much. I wouldn't mind it being over this way. That wouldn't be too bad. But for right now, I'm not going to put one over there. I don't know of any other one I would want to put. I don't think I like that one. What is this one? Well, now, I can't get down low enough to look at it, really. You have to be real careful about the terraforming. So, see, that's a real problem. What is that? Oh, that's pretty big, ain't it? Wow. It would fit in there, and it wouldn't terraform too much. That's interesting. I don't know if I want that, though. What else is there that I could use? I kind of wanted to use this kind of thing. Just drive in one end and out the other. But I don't know for sure that that's what I want to do either. So I would have to find some other kind of options. What is... Oh yeah, we looked at that. What was this one? That's that one. What is this? Nope. Yeah, so I'm kind of limited. That easy shed right there is the one I always use. No, that one is the one I always use. The shelter with the back wall. So I will try, I will probably put one of those, like I said, right over here. I don't really want one on this side. I may find something to put over there, but that's going to block out our flag and stuff if I put something here. I can't really put anything here because then that's going to mess with this part of the yard. Needs to stay kind of separated because I live over here, so I don't mind stuff being behind. I wouldn't mind putting a fence right here, even kind of fencing this off a little bit, but I'm not going to do that yet because all this other stuff takes up memory slots, and I don't want to use memory slots for decorations any more than necessary, like I did with those lights. That was several lights I put down, so that's as far as we can go for today. I've got everything done that I can do for the farm. I want to put a couple of solar panels over here. That'll generate some revenue, but the first thing I have to do, I want to buy, we'll get out of that. I want to buy, let's see, not that menu, this menu. I want to buy some more farmland. So we can see this is what I own so far. And on this map, I do not run fields with 90-degree corners. on this particular map. On No Man's Land, yep, I like the square and rectangular shaped fields, but not on this map, because just the way all the roads are curved. So I like to, for the fields to follow that same feel of having the curves in them and stuff. So that's what they do. So the next, I want to buy all this right here inside this road, so I can end up farming that section, and then I will decide where to go after that, because that it's probably going to be more like maybe here, simply because I have some smaller. See, when you buy something like this, how much is that? It's only 152,000. So they took account for the river, because it's pretty. You'll lose some of your workable ground farmlands because of that river and stuff in there. So that's 152,000. But if we look at this one, which is almost all farmable with the exception of the road, this one is 179,000. So we save a lot of money by going on if we go down there. But I don't know if I want to separate what I'm doing. I could, or I could just start kind of working my way down on this side. But this goes all the way down to the bottom of the map. So there's a lot of money to be spent to be able to acquire all this and turn it into farmlands. But I could do that. That might be the next one. But the first one is going to be here inside this road. And then I may jump over to this side. This may be the one I end up doing. It's not as big as this over here. So a little less money involved. Plus, once I buy this and this, so that I can finish this section, then I've got this area here, and I've got this already. And I'll have to buy this, so I'll already have this. So that'll only leave me 1, 2, 3 more plots of land to buy, and I'll have all that covered also. So I will probably go from finishing this out in here, and then start farming on this side also. I played on this map once before on my PS4, and this was one big potato field up here. I think it took me 6 hours to harvest it. So I don't know if I'll do that again. It was pretty cool, but I don't know if I'll do it again. I'll have to come up. I do want to do potatoes. I'll just have to come up with a smaller field. Anyway, everything is done that I can do on the farm for this time. So I think that's going to do it. We've got everything done that we can do. Next time, what do I want to do next time? Because all the cosmetic stuff is done now. I just wanted to put in my pathway and my lights. So I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do next time. I'll have to sleep through a day, speed the clock up, and my other watcher left. So it's a good time to go ahead and we're going to bring this one to a close, guys. We'll wrap it up, and until next time, God bless.